Good morning, everyone. My name is Frances Klingenberger. I'm the Manager of Strategic Programs at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber. And on behalf of the Chamber and BYP, I want to welcome you all to the 2020 BYP Virtual Summit Series. This is where we'd have confetti and everything if we were in person. Due to the challenges that 2020 has presented, we have decided to turn this inspiring day into a series of virtual events that will span over the course of the next few months. This virtual summit will be fueled by inspiring speakers, insightful panels, messages that motivate, and provide opportunities to connect with the leaders of today and tomorrow. This year's summit will feature a free weekly webinar on various topics, including cultivating your LinkedIn presence today, prioritizing your well-being, Enneagrams, understanding your leadership style, diversity, equity, and inclusion practices, creating a culture of accountability, achieving financial success, and more. BYP is very excited to help you engage your peers, empower yourself, and expand your career. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing the full lineup of webinars as they show up in the later months.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Hillary Haynes, Vice President of Member Engagement at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber. Just want to thank you all that you could join us today for our first webinar in our BYP Summit series. At this time, I'd like to thank our sponsors because without them, this could not be possible. So big shout out to Strata Credit Union, Comprehensive Blood and Cancer Center, and Kearney's Business Technology Center for supporting this program so that we can provide these free webinars from August to November. Now I just want to go over some Zoom etiquette. So first off, everyone, this is being recorded so that we can share this at a later date with those who are not able to attend today. Secondly, if everyone could go on mute, unless you're speaking, this will help reduce any feedback or background noise. We want this to be an interactive session, so if you could use the chat, if any time during this you have a question for Providence, please type it in the chat. And then at the end, we encourage you to use the hand emoji if you have a question. We want this to be interactive, as we mentioned, engage in conversation at the end. Frances, back to you. You're on mute, Frances, sorry.
Sorry. It's a great start. We're here with our team at Providence Strategic Consulting, and they're going to teach you how to optimize your personal LinkedIn page by learning strategies to make your profile stand out in any industry, tips to find your next job on LinkedIn, how to build your network and effectively interact with others on the platform, what and when to post to boost your personal brand, and other tricks to help you make the most of LinkedIn's powerful business network. Back to you, Hillary.
Thanks, Frances. So I'm going to introduce you to our speakers today, our friends over at Providence Strategic Consulting, which is a strategic communications firm in the Central Valley that specializes in public relations, public and governmental affairs, marketing, advertising, and more. And our speakers today are Rachel Glauser, who is the Director of Communications at Providence. She has 15 years of experience in candidate campaigns, statewide ballot initiatives, business advocacy, and permitting projects. Madison Carter Enriquez is the Senior Project Manager at Providence. She has a degree in business administration from Cal State Bakersfield. Go Roadrunners. And she's been working in marketing and design for 8 years. And we also have Allison Vota, who is the digital marketing specialist at Providence. So she'll be helping everything run smoothly behind the scenes. So if I could get a big welcome for Providence, you guys can take it over.
Hi, everybody. Hi, all. Good to kind of see people's faces. I mean, we can see you, but it's not the same as being in person. But super glad that you're here. Thank you, Hillary and Frances. We're really excited to have this opportunity to partner with the Chamber and present this webinar series for BYP. So thank you guys all for being here this morning, and we hope you get a lot out of this session today. So I'm Rachel again, and I'm going to be one of your co-hosts for today.
And I'm Maddie. And fair warning, this is an interactive webinar, so get ready to participate. And when we ask a question, again, answer in the chat box, and then we're going to talk through some of our activities as we go. And again, please don't forget to ask questions. Seriously, please ask questions. And then stay tuned to the end, and we're going to tell you how you can win a $50 Visa gift card. So really excited about that. And let's get started.
All right, so today we're going to be covering these topics that you see here. So first, we're going to give you some strategies to really make the most out of your profile. Then we're going to talk about networking and connecting, building your personal brand on LinkedIn, some other tips and tricks, and finally, we will dive a little bit into searching for jobs on LinkedIn. But first, we want to know, do you guys already have a LinkedIn profile? So let's practice using that chat section over there. Don't be shy. I know you're all doing this all day long on your video calls. So let us know. Hi. Hi, hi, hi.
Cool.
Hi, Jean.
Bet.
Thank you, guys. Okay, cool. I love it. Okay, so let's keep using that chat section. Let's make this interactive and fun. We'll meet you on the chat. But a lot of the tips that we're going to cover today are really great for beginners and just getting you super comfortable with the platform. We are, however, operating under the assumption that you do already have a profile in existence. But if you do need step-by-step instructions on creating that from scratch, just let us know, shoot us an email at the end, and we would be more than happy to walk you through that process.
So let's talk about your profile. The first thing we want to do is complete it, right? And your profile on LinkedIn has so many built-in features that are going to help you show your stuff. And we want you to use all of them to put your best foot forward. Plus, pages with completed profiles get an average of 30% more weekly views. So that's 30% more connections and 30% more chances to get noticed by potential employers. So to get started, you're going to want to choose the right kind of profile picture. You want something professional, but more so something that will show who you are as a professional. And at the same time, you need to keep in mind your industry. So if you work in a more creative field, you can add a bit more personality to your photo. And also, this is very important, this is not Instagram, and this is definitely not Tinder. So you need to choose your profile accordingly. We highly recommend using a professional headshot for your photo. And if your current company doesn't provide these as a part of their marketing, or if you're currently searching for a job on your own, it's definitely worth it to invest in a high quality photo that you can use to boost your career. And if you choose not to use a professional headshot, that is definitely okay. Just make sure that you have great lighting and a clean background. Those are just the most important things that you can have, and a big smile too. And then also very important is your cover photo. Again, you're going to choose something that will show who you are as a professional. I just used a royalty-free stock photo that I got off Pexels.com because I love this flower and I feel like it's just very clean and I liked it. But you can definitely do something with a little bit more personality. You just don't want to distract from your profile. You're just subtly adding to it with your cover photo. So you can even highlight a recent accomplishment or a team that you're a part of. You can definitely have fun here, but keep in mind the kind of industries that you are appealing to.
Awesome. So now let's talk a little bit about your headline. So this automatically sets to your current or most recent job title, and that is what I have on mine. However, if you want to spice things up a little bit, or if you're looking for a new position, you want to use that space right there to put a little more meat on the bones. You could give a brief description about your profile or your professional capabilities, and you can add a message there that says currently seeking employment in the blank sector, whatever industry you're looking to be employed by. So with so many layoffs from COVID, I actually am seeing this more and more, and it's actually a super effective way to be seen. If you think about it, I mean, it's right there. It's the first thing that you see when you hop on someone's profile. So if you're looking for a job, that's where you want to make that known. So again, and this will depend on your field and the type of work that you do, but you could add a little creativity in that section if you wanted to, but just keep that in mind, the type of industry that you're working in. Your about section, do not neglect this section. This is an incredibly important section and your chance to give a quick yet easily digestible summary of your professional identity. So show off what you got. You also want to use this to position yourself for the job you want or show potential clients what you are capable of. So when filling out this section, look up keywords that people in your desired job use and use those words to describe what you do. So I work in PR and marketing, and I use words like strategic communications and effective advocacy because those are important words used in our industry, and it really helps identify the type of work that we do. So figure out what your industry is looking for by using the search bar and look up job titles that you want. Click through a few high-profile people's pages maybe and see what they say about themselves. It helps you get some inspiration, but of course, never, ever, ever copy word for word what other folks are using, but it can help get the wheels turning and give you a little inspiration for what to put on your profile. Another tip, don't throw overused buzzwords in there or use adjectives just for the sake of using them. Make sure you are very intentional with each word that you choose, and this is really important. Whatever you are saying in your profile, you want to make sure that you can genuinely deliver on who you say you are. So keep that in mind when you're writing in that section. You can also add in the services that you provide as an added boost. So I did that in my profile. So just to indicate very clearly what I do or what I can do for potential clients.
I'm muted, I'm sorry. We had a question from Cole that says, does the headline play a role in how recruiters search and identify candidates, or is it mostly based on the resume section? And Cole, I like to think of this as kind of an SEO experiment. So when people are looking for keywords on your profile, you want to put as many of those in your profile as you can without sounding buzzwordy or overusing them. And so if you really want to highlight some of your skills and some of those keywords that recruiters are looking for, definitely put them in your headline as well as in your about section. So next, we're going to talk about updating your job and education history. So in a lot of industries, you may not want to include your full job description line by line because you probably won't need to. Less is definitely more here. However, if you work in a highly specialized career or if you work in a highly diversified career, you may want to include more details. So in the communication space, it's often better to include more detail on experience because there's so many different things that you can do in this line of work, and there are lots of different industries that are very similar to that. But if you work in a more specific industry that has a widely understood set of requirements, you can leave out more details if you choose to. So you can see here, this is from Rachel's profile, and it just gives an overview of her position, but it also tells specific things that she's able to do. So that works really, really well just to describe what she does here as a strategic communications director. And then lastly, if you do include a detailed list, add specific numbers and accomplishments for each position, and that adds credibility. So you want to do something like increase net profit year over year by X%, or facilitated employee engagement resulting in increased retention rate of X%, or whatever it is that you can deliver on and you can back up with actual hard evidence. So don't just make things up, but try to add in as much evidence as you can to your profile.
Okay, so fill out your certifications as well in your volunteer experience sections. So include your certifications, maybe licenses that you have, and volunteer history at the bottom of your profile. This will show people that not only are you qualified, but you are also well-rounded. So include any significant accomplishments like that and anything else that you can think of. Do you speak another language? Great, put that in there. Do you have some amazing projects that you can legally show off? Add those in. Of course, make sure that you can share those publicly and throw those in your profile. You can even add in collaborators and tag them, so that's super helpful. Lastly, update your skills, endorsements, and recommendations. This is a quick and easy way to invite people to confirm your experience, and it shows that you really know your stuff. So we'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but while we're here, keep in mind that you should also be endorsing and recommending others as well. So you have the perfect profile that captures your very essence as a professional. Great. Now what? Now it's time to go and build your network.
So you may already have a good network in place, or you might be starting completely from scratch. And either way, these are some tips that will help you build your network on LinkedIn. So first, if you're just setting up your profile, sync your account with your email address book. It sounds too good to be true, but LinkedIn will actually find people that you already know, and all you have to do is go through and add them as connections. Makes it super duper easy. So if you're setting up your profile for the first time, they will walk you through each steps as you go. But if your profile is already active and you just didn't do it while you were first setting it up, you just go to My Network, and then you add personal contacts at the bottom of the page. And so then it'll go through and it'll add in all these people, and you can choose who to connect with and who to not connect with. Then once you've done that and you've added in everybody that you want to from your emails, make a list of professional contacts that you already have and add them. So this sounds super labor intensive, but it's really not that bad, and it's worth it in the end. And I keep a physical old school Rolodex, and I'm very proud of it. It's very Mad Men inspired. But if you don't have that, or you just have some random pile of business cards, go through and start adding in those people that you've met at different events, back when events were a thing. Add in people that you've met at virtual networking events, that sort of thing. So just make sure that you are reconnecting with people that you have already met on LinkedIn.
I like your Rolodex. So now you should have a pretty good page built up, and LinkedIn is going to start suggesting contacts for you to add based on who you already know. So as you build your network, LinkedIn makes it easier and easier to find new people to connect with. And in a minute, we'll talk about posting. But when you do post and others like your post, the LinkedIn algorithm will show that post to others that may be interested in it and interested in you. So the more you post, the more you grow, really. You also want to make it a habit to continually add new contacts as you meet them in real life. So even though we still are in a time where we're exchanging business cards, or at least we were still exchanging business cards, when you are out meeting people, it's super effective to actually find them on LinkedIn and connect with them there. So make it a habit to do that. But you know, we have great events still, of course, virtual, but like the Chamber holds virtual events like the virtual happy hour. So there's plenty of opportunities still to meet new people. So adding people helps them remember you and vice versa for later on down the road. And take it a step further if you can and actually shoot them a private message, a personalized message, and let them know, hey, it was really nice to meet you the other day, and follow up with something that maybe you connected on when you met.
So now that your network is in place and it's continually growing, it's time to take it a step further and start actually connecting with your connections. So the first most important step is to start interacting with other people's posts. So if you see something you like it. Better yet, use one of the reactions and clap for it. So the best thing you can do is leave a comment as well, but it has to be thoughtful. And this is not a spammy impersonal comment, so include something that's personal and genuine. And this is just a great way to start conversations with others. So make sure that you are using it wisely and using it often.
Again, it's always good to reach out via message, not be spammy ever. I don't know about you guys, but I've got a lot of spam over the years, but especially recently with COVID. And, you know, it is kind of annoying, the constant spam that you get, because it just lacks genuine, right? And there's nothing genuine about a canned message. So try to be real, try to find things that you connect with, use people's real names. You know, that goes a long way in LinkedIn messages. So be real. You know, are you connecting with someone that you met a while back to build on that connection? Remind them of that. Remind them of where you met and try to connect on a really personal level. Especially if you're trying to reach out to a potential client, be professional, again, genuine, and do not use a canned message under those circumstances. I've actually received canned messages in LinkedIn and it still says the other person's name. So it says, hey, Sally, or so-and-so, and you can just tell that it was just a copy paste thing. Try to avoid that and just be personal, be yourself. So keep it engaging, but also keep it brief. This just the day in which we live. People like bullets and white space. So as much as you like you and we like you, no one has time to read your LinkedIn novel. So keep that in mind. Endorse and recommend. We're coming back to this because it's super important. Go through some of your closer connections that you have and give them recommendations and provide endorsements for them. So current and past coworkers, other people that you've worked closely with, this is an excellent way to build trust and solidify relationships. So a good rule of thumb is to give more than you get.
Once you've gotten the habit of interacting with others on LinkedIn, it's time to post for yourself. And the most important thing to remember when posting on LinkedIn is to stay positive, like Shaq over here. So even if you are posting about something negative, you can reframe it as an opportunity. For instance, I saw a post recently from a friend who lost her job because of COVID. And instead of posting and saying, woe is me, life is terrible, she posted about what an incredible experience she had with her previous employer. And she spoke about all of her coworkers and how much she appreciated them and how much she learned from them and her bosses. And then after that, she gracefully stated the specific job that she was looking for and what her qualifications are. So then a couple of hours, a handful of recruiters were tagged in the comments, and then those recruiters offered to reach out to someone that they knew were looking to hire someone just like her. So lesson of that is that positivity and grace always win.
As for types of content, just about everything does well on LinkedIn when it is well thought out. So we're seeing a huge increase in video posts on LinkedIn, and long form video content is doing remarkably well, especially when it's of inspirational content. You can also share posts from other people and organizations and add a little commentary of your own. Think about what you can speak to on LinkedIn, what your interests are, and what your current network is talking about, and tap into that. And please, 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 always, always proofread. If you need another set of eyes to look at it, get with a coworker or a friend or a supervisor and have them read over what you plan to post or share on LinkedIn. Take the extra few seconds and proofread. Also, take time to celebrate your professional accomplishments on LinkedIn. Did you get a promotion? Post about it and update your profile. Did you attend a great conference? Post about it. Or maybe you wrapped up a really great big project. Post about that. Now, you don't have to brag. Nobody likes that. Humility is key, but you should always be using LinkedIn to celebrate your accomplishments. Don't use LinkedIn exactly the same as you do other platforms. Some content might translate very well and easily from, say, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, but a lot of the times it won't transfer as nicely. So there's a reason LinkedIn doesn't have a stories feature. Okay, this is about shining a light on your professional life. So think about that when you're posting on LinkedIn. You can sometimes, again, translate and transfer the various content on your platforms, but maybe you need to edit it a little bit so that it shows up better for LinkedIn's platform. So rule of thumb here, just keep it classy. You also may want to follow hashtags and newsletters and thought leaders that you're interested in or that are in your industry so that you can engage in the larger conversations in your various industries. When you follow these popular posts, if you've noticed, when you're following certain people, high profile folks, certain posts will pop up and you can actually comment and like those posts, and you know, you're learning new things all the time, and really position yourself as a thought leader down the road in your own position.
And so we had a question that says, would you recommend focusing on posting organic content, or should we try to share other people's posts and give our thoughts on the topic? That's a really great question. I think that, I mean, your own content is best, but if you can provide good commentary on a shared post, that's really great too, because it also engages you in a bigger conversation. I've noticed just from posting things on my personal profile, things that I post myself rather than a share usually does a lot better because it's more engaging to my specific audience, not audience, but my network. But if you want to share something and you have something valuable that you can add to it on your profile, definitely share it, because that's a great way to start a conversation with other people. So with that, let's talk about what your personal professional brand is. So remember that LinkedIn is all about building your professional brand and network. So we're going to stop here for a second and we're going to do an activity. So we're going to mute ourselves for a minute or two, and what we want you to do is write down 3 to 5 adjectives that describe your professional brand. So who are you as a worker, and what do you want potential employers, clients, and colleagues to know about you in the workplace? So we want you to write down 3 to 5 words, and then if you're comfortable, only if you're comfortable, we're going to ask some of you to share afterwards, either through the comments or we'll invite you up on screen if you're comfortable. But we're going to pause. Go ahead and take a couple minutes to think that through and write a few things down. All right, are you guys done? It's hard to tell on Zoom. So just to share with you guys, the words that I wrote down are, they're not really adjectives, but efficient, integrity, and joyful. So those are the things that I want to exemplify in my professional life. And that's kind of the personal brand that I'm trying to build for myself. Does anyone want to share what they wrote down?
Do it. Unmute. Let us. 3 things. Easy. Adjectives. How would you describe yourself on LinkedIn?
Oh, aspiring. Oh, hi.
Can I say something, or do I just?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
I'm Sanchez. I'm with United Staffing. For me, it's a personable, team player, and then communicator.
Nice. I like personable, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Of course.
Enthusiastic. I like that. I like it using those personal adjectives actually because, you know, it's not necessarily work or professional focused. It can be professional and personal. So having someone who is enthusiastic on your team, especially if you're, say, in sales or something, that's something to look for, I think.
Definitely.
Creative.
I can vouch for Christian. I know him. Those are great. Those were great adjectives, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Team player is a good one too, yeah.
Yeah.
Super important.
Thank you for sharing, guys. We really appreciate it. So we're going to build on some of those ideas as we move forward in this webinar and in the next one too.
So now we're going to provide just a couple tricks that'll set you up for success, and then we will get on to the job hunting portion. So a cool feature on LinkedIn is that you can actually upload documents to show your work. You can also link to other web pages to show what you've done. So the best way to do this is to add documents and media under each job on the experience section. So if you have a project, like we mentioned earlier, that you're especially proud of, or maybe you have a case study that you could write up and turn it into a PDF, that goes a really long way in establishing credibility for each of those positions that you've held. You know, show your work. Do you have something that you can beef up that section of your profile with? It really does go a long way. And you can also add URLs under the projects. These are really good tools, so use them when you can. If you can upload various documents, potential employers, future employers, potential clients, they want to see that stuff. It's kind of like a sneak peek or preview before they even talk to you or get to see any kind of proposals or anything else from you. They kind of get a teaser or something, and it helps. So also what's really helpful are skills assessments. LinkedIn actually provides online tests. Now don't be scared, if you're a recent grad, to add more tests, but these are helpful. These are really beneficial to boosting your profile. But it's neat that they have these. It helps demonstrate your level of skills. And then once you pass, you actually get a verified skills badge that you can put on your profile. And again, this just adds that extra level of credibility for your connections to see. Another tool on here is called LinkedIn Learning. So you can actually complete courses on LinkedIn's learning platform, and it used to be called Lynda. And you can add completed courses to your profile and actually share what you've accomplished in terms of those courses. You can share them with your network. So we actually use LinkedIn Learning at our shop quite a bit. And it's a great feature to show off our commitment and continuous improvement. We're always growing, always learning, and you should never be shy about sharing that.
You can also consider trying to become a thought leader. So this is a very long-term and time-intensive strategy, but we've seen time and time again that it really works. So LinkedIn allows you to publish long-form content as articles, and these will help you show that you know your stuff. So the goal with these articles is to encourage meaningful conversations with your connections in the comments. So you don't just want to post it and forget it. Be ready to engage and get people talking about the topics that matter to you in your industry. So this is basically just a blog post with a built-in network that makes it really easy to share and get traction. And if you're ready to get to work on using this tool, just go ahead and start posting articles and see what happens. It's a very, very effective way to boost your credibility again. And then last but not least, join some groups. There are tons of groups on LinkedIn, and you can get involved with them very easily. These are just a few that I'm a part of. And this is where you get into great conversations and you can find new connections in your field of interest. So make sure you choose your group wisely though, and then intentionally interact within the group on a regular basis. And this will also help you grow your network and expose you to new contacts that you wouldn't otherwise come across.
Thanks, Maddie. So now it's time to talk about your job hunt on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has really revolutionized the job search process, as I'm sure a lot of you are recognizing. It makes a huge difference for those of you who maybe are looking for a job right now. So if you are looking for a job, make sure your page is up to date and you want to use it as you would a resume. This is when it's important to fill out the job history portion of your profile, and then you can actually turn on a setting that shows recruiters that you're open to new positions. It helps them seek you out and help you find a new position and get you placed appropriately. So here you can specify exactly what you're looking for and show recruiters that you're open to these new positions, and be really strategic about who knows you're looking, actually. So enabling this option will put you in front of recruiters that may be looking for someone just like you. You also may want to add currently seeking a position in, as we talked very early on, to your headline. So if you're dead set on a position in sales or whatever it may be, use that headline section to advertise that. Currently seeking a position in sales, currently seeking a position in marketing, whatever it is. So that might be too much for some of you, but it really, really does help get the word out there because it is the first thing that you see right there in someone's profile. And remember earlier when Maddie mentioned the story about the woman that posted really positive things about her employer after she got laid off. If you're looking for a job and not looking for something different than your current job, it's time to craft a post. So posting about your job status like she did will let your entire network know that you're available to new opportunities. It might be a bit intimidating to post about this, but it's really crucial to get the word out that you are available. And LinkedIn is one of the absolute best places to do that. But one caveat though is to only do this if you're really confident that you can handle it well. So again, talking about current and future past employers, employees, speaking of them well, and really just handling what you do, handling yourself really well with grace and positivity on LinkedIn as you are on the hunt for a new job. And the key is to be really honest about your situation. You don't need to divulge all the nitty-gritty details to your LinkedIn audience, but speak well of yourself and speak well of others. You are not desperate, or at least people don't need to know that you are. You are a qualified professional who's ready to put your skills to work for a worthy employer. So make that very well known on your LinkedIn profile. So this is also where you would go and turn on that option to be seen, or turn your recruiter option on to be seen by everyone. So you never know. Word gets out and people look at profiles and then notice that and they remember, you know, so-and-so is looking for new opportunities.
So when you're actually going to start applying for jobs, they have a whole host of jobs that are on their network specifically. So follow best practices for job hunting when you do that. Just narrow down a few that you'd like and apply. But one of the major benefits of LinkedIn, searching for jobs on LinkedIn, is that you can see if any of your contacts already work at the company you're interested in. So then you can reach out to them and for advice or recommendation, and that will increase your chances of getting hired tremendously. And it was kind of funny, when I started doing research for this, I took this screenshot and there's this company in Los Angeles and an alumni from CSUB works at that company. So it's cool that it shows you that, and it shows you different ways that you're connected to people that already work there. It's very, very handy. And then they also have tons of other helpful job searching tools available. If you are not sure what kind of salary you want to look for, they have the salary option, and you can type in the job that you're looking for and where you're looking for it at, and see what you should be making in your area for your job. They also have really, really helpful interview prep tools. So they have commonly asked interview questions and different feedback from lots of different people that will show you what you should be answering to these questions and what kind of things you should be looking for as you go into an interview. And then this is very, very cool. They will help you build a resume based off your LinkedIn profile. So what they do is you can go and type in the desired job title that you want, and they'll show you the keywords that those recruiters are looking for that specific job title, and they'll help you put those keywords into your resume. And it will also help you format it in a way for the resume reading software to go through and see if you're qualified before it even reaches a person. So it's very helpful. If you don't have a resume already, go ahead and try that out because it's very, very cool and they make it super easy.
Okay, recap. So we talked a little bit about how to complete your profile, putting your best foot forward on LinkedIn. We covered engaging with others, posting content, talked a little bit about job hunting on LinkedIn, and of course about staying positive and handling yourself on LinkedIn with humility and grace and professionalism. So hopefully all these tips will help you in your LinkedIn game in the future. especially if you are on the hunt for a new job now. I know times are really tough right now, so we want to help equip you with all the right tools if you are needing to get a good job right now. And we really do think, as we mentioned, LinkedIn has revolutionized the job search process, and it is paramount that you make this profile really reflect you and your professional goals as best as possible.
And that said, we're almost out of time and we're almost time for questions. But please keep in mind that today we barely scratched the surface with what LinkedIn is capable of. We fit as much as we could into an hour, but there's so much more, especially with the premium features as well. There are tons of things that we didn't even touch on. So don't be afraid to dive in a little bit further, like our little wiener dog friend here, and just take a few steps to learn and grow and take your career to the next level. So dive in and see what it has to offer you. And with that, yeah, that is a good dog. With that, let's take a few questions. I know that we have 2 in here that we didn't answer yet. Thanks, Lewis. So the first one is, do you recommend adding a link to your LinkedIn profile in your resume? And I'm going to let Rachel take this one.
I would say yes. I don't know if it's still the same rule of thumb, but when I was first starting out making resumes and stuff, it was you kept your resume to a page. 1 page. Your employers don't have time to read your book. Keep it to a page, keep it brief, and it's really kind of like your highlight reel. So I think if you include your LinkedIn link up there or somewhere on your resume, it allows those interested in learning more about you to go into your LinkedIn profile, where you really dive more into your past experiences and maybe talked more detailed about certain projects. I think that's really helpful for future employers and people hiring, for sure. And then Kathy had a question, Maddie, early on about updating her profile or her cover photo.
I'm going to show you how to do that. Can you see my screen, my LinkedIn?
Yep.
Okay. So if you go up here to your profile and you open it, you should have this little pencil guy in the right-hand corner. So you just click that, and then you can change your photo. You can upload any photo you want. They have a couple like pre-made ones that you can use, and they make it really easy. Just make sure you position it in the way that you want it to. But yeah, it's super easy. And then you just push apply, and it'll save your changes.
Not like uploading the Facebook, same kind of process.
Yeah. And then Hillary says, is premium worth it? What are the major differences in features? So I would say it depends. So there's different levels of premium memberships. And so it depends on what your objective is. Like if you're a salesperson and you need to be able to send in-mail to different people, that would be really useful. Or if you are really, really digging into your job search, that would be useful as well. One of the cool features of premium, if you're like me and you like creeping on people, it's kind of disappointing because it'll tell you who's looking at your profile. And so I'm always nervous when I'm like looking at people if they can see me looking at their profile, but that's a cool feature. So there's a lot of different things and there's a lot of different levels too. So I believe the lowest one starts at $20 a month, and then the highest one for just a user is $48 a month. So there's a wide range of different features that are available to people to use. Do we have any more questions?
And feel free to hop on video, you guys, if you want to actually talk. You're all experts, I guess. Right? Hopefully it was just that good of an overview. And next time we'll talk about, right, Maddie, we're going to talk about business pages. Yeah, we'll get into more detail on maybe if you run a company page on LinkedIn, we'll get into that.
I have a question. This is Cole. So the recruitment thing, I've always heard this always be looking is a good idea to have. That's a good approach to take professionally anyway. So I have my recruiter thing set to kind of casually looking, that kind of thing, open to nothing that's like active. My association has actually been looking for positions to fill in Sacramento, but I was afraid that they might actually see mine on there. Is there a safeguard to prevent them from seeing me within their association, like within their recruitment?
Yes. So, sorry. Let's see. So you can share with recruiters only, but I guess if they are acting as a recruiter, they might see you, but I think that you can specifically block certain people from seeing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you know the names of the people that are potentially looking in your organization, then you can block them on it.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any more questions?
Okay. Allison says it does help you make sure that recruiters at your company can't see it. Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. That was fun.
If you have any questions later on, if you're just noodling on this and something comes up, feel free to shoot either one of us an email, or you can reach out on social, and you can even add us on LinkedIn. Hey, will be your contact. Also, as promised, we're going to be doing a $50 Visa gift card raffle. We are going to be doing it at 2 p.m. on Friday on our Providence Facebook page. It's just at ProvConsult. So to enter, just craft a post on LinkedIn saying a couple things that you learned or whatever you want to say, and just tag Providence. And it's that simple. We're going to choose one of the entries and we'll announce it on Friday at 2 p.m. on our Facebook page. So with that, we'll turn it back over to Hillary and Francis.
Thank you so much, Rachel, Madison, and Allison. That was very informative. I know that I have a lot of takeaways from this, and I'm just going to go vamp up my profile later today. We also want to thank our summit sponsors, Strata Credit Union, Comprehensive Blood and Cancer Center, and Carney's for sponsoring this year's series. And we will be back next week with the awesome Providence team again, and to help you expand your LinkedIn business profile. So if you're interested in signing up, please click the link that Hillary just shared in the chat. And we will see you again next week at the same time. We hope you have a good day.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.